Start recording time.
Start recording. Start
recording.
It's
Hallelujah.
time for
Hallelujah.
us to start
recording.
Hey, we are Susu and that guy, the Wolfman.
Yes, the Bosie in the back.
And I'm out of frame as usual.
Are you kidding?
I can't. I mean, I just never can make that happen.
What do you mean you can't? You have more space than I do. You can't. She can't. I'm like,
it's like sliding and the chairs are hard to move, and then I'm pushing it into him, and then there's a table right here, so I can't easily get in frame. But I love you, and I love everybody that watches us with me out of the frame. Okay, so are we all chill?
No, we'll never be chill. It's as far as the word means chill, we'll never be chill.
Okay, so let's talk about what we're doing today.
Okay.
We are going to look at some of Tuomas's gear and NIGHTWISH as well. Because you requested at one point to know, you'd love to see what all he had, and we didn't know what might be out there.
Right.
So Kent found a couple of videos that will
Kent.
give some of that information.
Okay, King K?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, King K.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's do this. This is NIGHTWISH in studio with Genelec monitors. And I don't know what that means. They're studio monitors, much like what I have, but more expensive and better.
Of course. It's behind the scenes, though. That sounds really mysterious.
It's behind
the scenes.
Only the shadow knows.
I'm scared now.
You should be.
Magic 8 Ball. Should I watch this or not? Oh my God. It says, stop being a jerk. Okay. I was kidding.
All right, let's do this. Let's do this.
Let's go then.
Hello guys, welcome to Petrax Studios, Hollala, Finland. Here we are at the studio kitchen. Kitchen is, well, you know what we do here. There's some coffee table stuff and some stuff for the sound engineer Marko, who's in the grip of a flu. So some blackberry juice and rum, which is good for him, I hope. I already had myself a cup of tea. Here's the control room and my bandmate Tuomas, who still hopes there's something interesting in the internet. We all know that there is nothing.
Here's my little baby, Korg Oasis. I already used this for the previous album, Dark Passion Play. I will use a lot of it for Imaginarium as well. Here we have the mixing console, just about to start with the third song. This is probably the space that we spent most time in for the next 3 weeks at least. It was back in 2007 when we got the Dark Passion Play album finished. I started to think what would be the next thing to do, because the music of NIGHTWISH in itself had already gotten so big and diverse that I thought that, you know, we have walked till the end of this particular path. Now it's time to do something a bit different. That really took the budget out of proportion once again. Mm-hmm. So that'll be like the major catch of this upcoming release, that we're actually doing this music fantasy film at the same time. Here we have the space where the magic of singing happens.
That's where I usually stand. I do my vocals usually wearing my Batman suit, but then you wouldn't know who I am, so I left it for the occasion.
Yeah. And then my personal little kingdom here. The thing with each album that we do is that you want to try some new territories with the music. And for example, on the last album we used a gospel choir, something that we hadn't done before. And for this album there will be For instance, a kids choir, a children's choir that we haven't done before.
In order to use all those things, you kind of have to figure out, okay, this piece of music actually would become better if you find some interesting sounds and interesting instruments which will complement the whole song and the sound.
Absolutely, that's the most important thing. I mean, we're not using the orchestra or choir or these special instruments because it's cool, so to say. We use it because it brings these certain songs alive.
Even though cool is a nice bonus.
Sure.
What was that guy playing back there? I want to back it up. Like, what is that?
Some type of woodwind. But
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I
but
don't know.
It looks like maybe is it an oboe? Might be an oboe.
To say, we use it because it brings these certain songs alive.
Even though cool is a nice bonus.
Sure. What we're doing is kind of like introducing a whole new way of storytelling, which means that you actually hear almost the whole album of Imaginarium throughout the movie. And there's a lot of dialogue, but it's basically in between the songs and sometimes on top of the songs. So it's kind of like a hybrid of The Wall by Pink Floyd and Sweeney Todd, Moulin Rouge and Fantasia of Disney. So it's actually the music which is telling the story, but there are still real actors and a lot of dialogue. It's not so much about the place or time. Probably the most important thing for me as a songwriter is that I need time. I need my peace and solitude. So like the original ideas for the storylines and the songs, they can emerge anywhere. But to actually make the song from beginning to the end, to compile all the pieces together, I need a few weeks of privacy, so to say. So I couldn't imagine doing a whole song in the back of a tour bus.
2-E menee parhaimmillaan. Niin, täytyy muistaa, että meidän vireessä D-ssä.
Ja kun me laski se siihen
niin,
siis
joo,
oikeesti.
Niin.
Ja just se. Ja sit se menee fissaan sillä modulaatossa.
Joo.
Ihanaa, kaunista.
Ever since I started study studio engineering, started to do studio engineering as a work in the end of 80s, start of 90s, the one constant thing in my very on and off career as a studio engineer has been Genelec speakers, because I find them to be unrivaled, the way they deliver, for instance, low ends with the clarity that you need and all the crispiness and everything that's there in the soundscape. What we have here behind is Genelec 8240 model, which is a DSP speaker, and if you have a laptop, you have a program, you have a small interface box, and then you have a microphone, which you actually hook up with the speakers, and the microphone measures the room and the sound and the acoustic properties of it, and then adjusts the speakers, and then also saves the settings. You can take these babies out from this nice, cozy, roomy control room and take them into some, for instance, into your cellar to record some drums, and there you have some toilet where you actually sitting there with the earphones on or with the speakers in front of you, and you actually measure the acoustical dimensions and properties again, and then you have the optimal sound for that room in order to listen to the speakers, and that's really handy when you're doing this kind of mobile stuff.
I always thought that music business was complicated, and now I have gotten a glimpse of movie business, and you haven't seen anything. So just hope for the best.
beautiful.
There's one simple vision hack.
What they did right at the end, where Tuomas was playing piano,
Say again, I'm sorry.
when Marko started whistling,
Yeah,
and he was not whistling what Tuomas was playing,
Right.
but it worked.
Yeah.
So it's like they were writing something right then.
yeah. It's
So interesting.
very interesting, very, very good, I love the look of the studio. I love studio. I'm a studio guy. And of course there's much bigger, but I saw a couple things, it's like, I can do that, I never even thought about it. Like the vocal booth, they just put up some stands, some normal stands and trips, and some carpet over it. And I could do that with and it'd be great, I could put it in one corner, like the corner over there is empty, and that'd be my vocal booth, and it wouldn't cost that much to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of had to laugh a little bit because when was this video done?
8 years ago.
Okay.
I think 8 years ago.
Since 12 years ago is when it was uploaded.
Okay.
So the reason that I want to key on that for a minute is I have stuff in here now that will do everything they're talking about, but it's a small little box, right? And they had a whole desk full. That was very cool, and I could do that on the phone or on this screen that I'm looking at right now, and I was just blown away by how things have changed so much.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was big once is getting much smaller as far as electronics go.
Right.
And the last thing I'll say is about the speakers. Those are great speakers. But what I like about the speakers he was talking about is they already have built into them a room analyzer. Right? I have a room analyzer, but it's separate. I have to draw it up and I have to do a bunch of stuff to make it work. All I do is hit one button and the speakers go, okay, I'm in this kind of room with this kind of acoustics, and it says itself.
That to me is
amazing. That was 12 years ago. Imagine what it does now.
yeah,
Breakfast.
probably a lot different. Even 5 years from now.
Oh yeah,
You know?
yeah.
So the progression is interesting, and I just like listening to Tuomas talk.
Yeah. Finally, I mean, yeah, I know I've seen him before, right? Talk, but I always thought he was really kind of snotty a little bit, but he seemed to be pretty down to earth.
You've hardly seen him talk.
Okay.
I did like I think it was a 6-part series. It was just small. It was just small sections that I took each day of him talking about his journey through NIGHTWISH, as a
Right.
person, as a musician, and so I kind of got to know him then. I didn't know by his expressions and everything on stage. I didn't know about him.
Yeah,
I
that's why.
couldn't figure him out, and just seeing him this way is it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And you know, talking about creating and needing to have that solace to create. I mean,
I know that feeling.
you said
because-
a few weeks. I'm like, probably like 10 years
Yeah.
for one of the things he produces.
Right. And that's why a lot of times I'll come out here and spend hours just working on one little part of a song that I'm working on and never come and throw it away. Get mad, throw it away. Anyway, and she does a lot with her crafts the same way. She's got her own office, you know.
Well, it's just a creative process, right?
It is, it really is.
Yeah,
You
and I
gotta
love
be
watching
smart by
these
something,
guys
right?
together.
Yeah, you can't just put stuff out there to put stuff out there. Same with crafts. You don't want to put just a picture out to put a picture out, right? To have something to say, I put this out, because it'll eventually be garbage, right? Essentially be garbage.
Right. Yeah, and I knew there was a lot of work involved
Yeah.
in things for NIGHTWISH, and I know this was right before Imaginarum.
Right, imaginary.
No, there's no E.
Really?
It's Imaginarum.
Okay.
So they were doing film, and so that was probably the biggest. And he said the filming part, the filming industry is even crazier.
So I didn't know they did a film though.
They did.
Did I? Did I know that? Have we seen it?
No, it's a short film.
Okay.
Well, I think short. Maybe it's an hour, a little more. But so that's why you haven't seen it, because you won't watch anything past 15 minutes.
Yeah, I don't hardly at all on my TV. Watch.
Oh, but Yeah, I had talked about watching it myself with everyone, but then I held back because of a couple of things that I thought might not be good for me to watch. So, but I love the songs from it, and I love the videos from Imaginarum. And I would love to see more of this, like right before. What was it like right before they released their most recent album? What was it like before? You know, way back. You know, with Tarja before they were releasing things with her. And I think there's plenty of film out there on that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Sweet to see Marko and Tuomas, just the two of them.
Yeah, that was.
Collaborating and taking that time together, and it's just like, to me, as creators, they worked just in sync.
Right.
Different enough to complement each other, even in personality.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I think so too.
Yeah.
There's cute little chuckles here and there between, but you know, there's something that they were doing.
I think that Marko likes to do outrageous things to make Tuomas laugh. Tuomas laughs and then pretends he's not laughing as much. I think that might be part of their thing. That's just my observation. I could be wrong.
I think you're right. I think
it would be cute.
Tuomas has got more of a reflective, maybe even more of a stern kind of attitude, because he's
contemplative.
Contemplative. That's good word.
Yeah.
Did you learn that today?
No.
Or did you contemplate on it a while before you used it?
I did. No, I didn't. It just came to my mind.
Very nice, very nice.
Yeah. I have no wordplay for that.
English teacher. I loved it. And the last thing I would say is that, and now I can't remember what it was, the keyboard that they had was an older keyboard. But when it came out, it was the bomb, and I had a friend, Todd Nagel, who had one and loved their stuff. And at the time, I was mainly only playing Roland, and now I've kind of backed away from that. I play a little bit of Roland, but I have some Yamaha and I have Korg and other stuff.
Well, I'll just tell you that all the instruments are interesting to me, and I'm liking learning more about them. However, when you say stuff about, I had this model of this in this year at this time, and it was the thing, it's like speaking Greek. I have no idea. I'm not musically
What I say, what she hears.
Educated. What I say, what you say, and what I hear.
Yeah. What I say and is different than what you hear. That's what kind of guitar? Kind of good guitar do you have?
Baby Taylor.
Okay, it's actually 3/4 size. It's not half size of the babies, but we call it a baby tail.
Yeah. So what's that have to do with anything?
Because you don't remember any of my stuff.
I mean, there's so much. One guitar or two guitars versus like all this gear, and then there's these boxes and these chords, and I don't know what's going on, honestly.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
We probably need to wrap up.
We do.
But Kent, thank you. We really liked watching this. It was a good call, and always love seeing Nightwish.
Yes.
So if you liked our video, please give us a thumbs up. Share it with your friends. Comment down below. Hit the notification bell. And if you haven't subscribed already, consider subscribing to the channel.
Bonesy's in.
Yeah, Bonesy's here. Well, that's probably not very encouraging.
This will happen to you if you don't join.
No. And you made me mess up the last part.
You got it right. You said subscribe. This is the last thing.
Oh, subscribe. And until we see you again, be blessed.
Hey, it don't hurt anybody. God, this is